Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning into this video. This is the long-awaited having a diabetic friendly slash keto friendly Pesach or Passover this year. So, I know it's scary. My number one takeaway is going to be, remember, this is for health reasons. We are trying to control our health, our blood sugar spikes, or whatever reason you are doing keto or anything like that, or if you are diabetic and you're trying to find a way to make Passover a little less rough on the blood sugar, this video is for you. So, if you're living in Israel or in diaspora, there is a Seder. And if you're living in Israel, it's only one night Seder. If you're living outside of Israel, it is a 2-night Seder. And so, normally that's a lot of matzah that we're eating. So I know people that are buying, hundreds upon hundreds of dollars worth of matzah for the entire week. And there are two kinds of matzahs you can buy. You can buy either a boxed version that's square that everybody knows about, or you can purchase handmade round shamora matzah, which is cooked in the oven by hand in big matzah factories, and it has a very, very heavy price tag because of all the extra supervision that this matzah gets. Excuse me. So, Passover seems very scary when you're diabetic because, remember, it's all of those carbs you're trying to avoid, and if you're on keto, especially if you're trying to stay within ketosis, or like me, just trying to keep your blood sugar from going through the roof, you don't know what to do. Like, what can I eat during the holiday? So the best part is there is hope. There is a way that we can observe this holiday with our sanity, our mental well-being intact. So here's the thing though. In Judaism, we're all about preserving life. And whether or not that is our mental state, our physical state, health is of absolute importance. And most rabbinic authorities will say that if you have a major health issue, you can eat the half required amount of the matzah. So that's typically a kazayat. That's approximately 1 ounce. And if you need a size comparison, that's about a large-sized olive. And that is like volume worth. So remember, matzah is rolled very, very thinly out, so it cooks within seconds. So you're talking about an olive size worth of dough that's rolled out. Keep that in mind. And for the wine, we want what is called a breviat of wine, which is about a cheekful of wine. And the sweeter the wine is, the higher sugar content. And if it's grape juice, that's going to be a lot of carbs right there. So on Passover, we generally drink 4 cups of wine, an ounce, about a cheekful worth each. And so, you do the math. You're eating pretty much a couple 100 grams of carbs at both Seders if you're going to do that. So the number one thing is cutting that in half as much as you possibly can. So for the matzah, that's going to be about, break the matzah in half, the square one in half. So then you are able to eat your required amount of matzah at the Seder. And even if you don't eat these full amounts, remember, we're doing this for our health here, and our mental well-being. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to use the ounce of matzah, and I'm just going to use a little bit of that for the required amount to eat at the Seder for the mitzvah of eating matzah. Then I'm going to use a little bit of it to make my korach sandwich. So I can, and that's not even necessarily a required part of the Seder. That is in memory of Rabbi Hillel and what he did in the times of the temple, which was to take matzah, bitter vegetables, and the Passover offering and making kind of a sandwich. I don't know, yeah, most people think the Earl of Sandwich invented the sandwich. No, it was Rabbi Hillel. He invented the sandwich. Sorry, I had to throw that little joke in there. And then we have the afikomen, which is the in memory of the Paschal offering, because on Passover we want the last thing in our mouth to be that Passover lamb. Because we roasted it in fire, and that was your meal before the temple was destroyed, and the rabbis and sages wanted to find a way to pay homage to the festival offering and find a way to observe Passover without the temple. They made the Seder. The modern Seder is how that came to be. Now, the next thing is going to be wine. I recommend a very dry Chardonnay type of situation. Like, the drier the wine, the better. And even then, there's two schools of thought. You have the Sephardic custom, which is Spanish Jewish custom, and then you have Ashkenazi Jewish custom, which is the European custom, and that is the one that I hold to. So Sephardim, usually half the wine in your cup, and then the rest of it can be watered down with water. If you're Ashkenazi, it's about a fifth of the cup watered down the rest of the way. So if you do this, you can get your carbs right down. And try to remember here that, you know what, it's once a year, it's Passover, it's a time of our freedom. We are meant to enjoy this holiday. And if you still are unsure about observing it, please contact your local rabbi, talk to them, tell them the situation you're in, that, hey, this is for my health, I want to observe Passover as best I can, but I also care about my health. What can I do? Please seek your local rabbi for your specific situation, because I am not a rabbi in any way, shape, or form here. And then the best part is about the rest of Passover, it's amazingly keto-friendly. You really have no requirement to eat matzah apart from the Seders. Now, yeah, sure, we might like to enjoy matzah throughout the week, make on a full hamotzi lechem min haaretz, a blessing over the bread. But remember, it's for our health here. That is of utmost importance. And then you can still have keto-friendly Passover things. Just check the kosher certification and make sure it complies with your kosher observance. So I hope this video helps. I hope we have a wonderful, blessed, meaningful Passover this year. And thank you for tuning into this video. Thank you. See you later.